Hey Hillheads, this is Ken Glenn, broadcasting from beautiful Bozeman, Montana, birthplace of Storyhill. Here to tell you about a very special event that's happening later this month. It's the 30th anniversary of the musical career of Storyhill. Chris and John put out their first album in 1989, and here it is 2019, and we're gonna have a big party here in Bozeman. So the first thing that's gonna happen is on Thursday night, we're gonna head up to Highlight Lake and have a big party up there. There's gonna be food, there's gonna be a special performance by Chris and Johnny. Then we'll catch up in person right on the lake. You can just feel the waves like lapping up at you. And then on Friday, get this, we're heading over to Butte, Montana for, you guessed it, the Lady of the Rockies, also known as Mary on the Mountain. We're gonna go up there and take a tour. Chris and John are gonna be playing some very special music up there, and we're gonna find out once and for all if Mary can see what's going on down in the valley there, because I hear there's controversy. We don't know if she can see it or not, but we're hoping, she didn't see everything. But anyway, and then on Saturday, there's a big show at the fairgrounds. This is the 30th anniversary concert of Storyhill. They're going to be weaving through 15 albums, 3 decades of Storyhill music, plus new stuff that maybe even hasn't even heard it live yet. So it's going to be incredible. So where you get the tickets, storyhill.com. Get on there, you can find out all the different events, get your different ticket packages. I'm going to try to hit all of it because it's just going to be incredible. There's never going to be another Storyhill event like this. So I've known Chris and John for over 30 years. I've played a little music with them, and like most Hillheads, I know a lot about Chris and John. However, there's still plenty that I don't know. So Chris and John invited me to take a ride up to Highlight Lake with them in a 1994 Chevy Suburban, so we could have some reminiscing time and play a little music up the pavilion. So why don't you join us and hop on the bus? Let's go for a ride here. So John, what are your best memories of 1989?
It's a big year.
It was.
One of the main things was our first cassette tape, which we thought was going to be our last, that we recorded at Peak Recording in Bozeman.
That was a good one.
Yeah. $200 a day. Our parents both pitched in $200 so we could do 2 days. And I remember like John and Wendy and Marianne. There's just a bunch of people like behind the glass, like watching us record.
Yeah.
And it was like right during all the sort of like graduation festivities and stuff. So it was just sort of like a crazy, hectic time, and we were like, we got to get these songs down.
Were you guys sort of in a rush because at that point you didn't know you were going to go to college together, and you just wanted to get it down on tape?
Yeah, it was all about just documenting what we had done together, because Chris was going to Spain and I was going to St. Olaf, and that was going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we didn't have any aspirations of doing anything more until I sold all the 100 copies at St. Olaf in the first month or whatever, just playing solo, and then that's when we sort of started thinking maybe we didn't even know what to call ourselves. I remember talking to Chris on the phone before he left for Spain, which we call ourselves, and it was like, how about Chris and Johnny? So then I drew the cover art.
Right.
Went to Kinko's and printed it out.
Right.
At Kinko's copies. Make it maroon.
So Chris, how did it feel to be writing original songs in high school?
Actually, it was Johnny that encouraged me to do it, because I just started, learning covers like Joni Mitchell and Jim Croce and stuff, and playing a lot of like piano, and then just sort of like meditative piano, and just do it for myself.
And the Soldier song, I think that was on piano.
Yeah, right. That was probably one of the only ones. Yeah, that you were taping.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Heard playing on. Yeah. Yeah. I'm right. It's a trip to think back to that time. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't like trying to do anything other than just sort of like it's sort of like journaling,
Mm-hmm.
This is the right speed for a trip up Highlight. this was dirt, right? But John, I remember Johnny. I played him a song on his parents' front porch, and he said, "Is that yours?" Or he was like the first one to encourage me. He's like, that's cool. He asked if he could start singing a harmony on it or something. And it might not even have been a finished song. It was just like something I was goofing around with. But
So John, talk about the Chris and Johnny show at DeVille's.
Oh man, yeah, our first public show, non-school oriented show. Yeah, I think. How many times did we play there? Maybe 4 or 5 or something.
I just thought it was the 2 times, but
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, I just remember there not being a whole lot of people there, but that our names were on the marquee, like a huge marquee in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Chris and Johnny.
Yeah, and that poster that your friend made.
Josh, yeah.
Yeah.
Put all around school. And,
Like our heads were huge, and little guitars.
and then I think we had terrible problems with the sound
The
system,
sound was.
which was a bit of a foretelling of what was to come. I mean, sound systems were kind of bad back in the day. They were hard to finagle.
I mean, I can't even think of whose it was.
I think it's like, yeah, just the venues, like they're thrown together.
Well, you guys were probably one of the first acts to play at DeVille's, I would think. I'm not sure, but...
I think they were just sort of experimenting with it.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, what was that place? A coffee shop? College?
Yeah.
Correct.
I think it was. Yeah, one of like precursor to. Well, was Leaf and Bean there back then? Can't remember if that was. It was, okay.
Yeah.
Downtown.
So it was.
Yeah, we used to go and
probably getting.
smoke clove cigarettes in there.
Yeah.
in the shop,
Really?
What?
At the Leaf and Bean?
Yeah.
Wow, I never made it that far inside.
Yeah, well, because it was full of smoke.
Wow, yeah, that place was great. I miss it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's gone now entirely, isn't it?
yeah, it's what is it, a taco joint now or something?
Yeah.
So, Chris, were you a fan of Garrison Keillor back in the 80s?
No, I didn't know who he was until college, So the 90s, right? So, yeah, I mean, everyone in Minnesota, teaches anyone not from Minnesota to learn to like Prairie Hill Companion.
Of course.
Yeah, and I mean, it was like instantly, automatically pretty appealing. It's just so tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty fun, amazing
Sound
stuff.
effects.
But I mean, like I never back then, like imagined, how far we'd get with it as far as being kind of like personally invited by him, by Garrison.
It's amazing.
To do a couple cruises with him, and
I was actually in Missoula hanging out with my son and a couple of homeless people when you guys came on Garrison Keillor show, and it was really neat experience to hear you by I guess it'd be the Clark Fork or something, but
Oh, wow.
just hanging out down in the park down there and
Listening to the radio?
yeah. I had the engine off and just listening to, I can't remember what you guys played, but it was beautiful.
Did you know we were going to be on? Or?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I couldn't wait to hear you. But
Wow.
yeah, pretty neat to know somebody that was on there.
Yeah.
Such a great show.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about how you guys decided to both attend St. Olaf in Minnesota.
Well, yeah, I went there for a year, and then, I guess it was, I just called Chris after I sold all those cassette tapes, and I was like, you might be able to do pretty well here if you came to school here. And I guess he didn't really have any idea where he wanted to go yet.
right.
So,
You were in Spain at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember Johnny writing a letter. I got a letter from him, kind of saying that, how excited he was about the school and how cool, psyched he was. That was like the word he used back then. This place is so rad, or whatever. And just like all the friends, like, because you had known a lot of people from St. Olaf prior.
Yeah.
Through, camp, right?
Yeah.
Chris Common.
Yeah, that's kind of how I ended up there, I guess.
Yeah. And then, that whole my time in Spain was going to be limited.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a career thing. It was just like a year abroad. So, I just decided that, Johnny's suggestion was to come swing by, Minnesota on the way back to Montana and check it out. I think we played some music, I got to know some, interact with some of his friends, and I remember him saying that people were curious who the harmony was on the cassette tape. So,
people from St. Olaf, because they didn't know you yet.
Like they would hear Johnny play solo and then hear the tape, and they were like,
Cool.
Okay, who's the other guy or whatever.
Yeah, well, you guys are so good at harmony.
Yeah, thanks to the choir and all that.
Yeah, so talk about the choir, like Mr. Farrow and all your buddies in the choir.
Oh yeah, it was just super great to be a part of that program. The North Winds, we were both in North Winds, and with all the like candlelight concerts and stuff. That's really how we started. Was I remember it occurred to us, hey, we might be able to play one of our own songs.
Right.
And luckily, Marco was like very supportive of that.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the applause for that. I mean, the feedback. I mean, it went well.
Yeah.
It was like, like a love song with harmony and piano and I think guitar maybe.
Yep. That ended in the musical setting of the Lord's Prayer.
Oh yeah.
Because we thought that would lend some gravity to it or something.
Right. I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
With Old English and everything.
Right. Yeah. That was our first taste of, the effect of writing and doing original music for people.
Mm-hmm. That's got to be so rewarding. I've never written a whole song for people to hear. It's pretty neat.
It is
definitely
format.
I've kind of realized over the years that it's almost like we're, or at least speaking for myself, it's like I'm less of a musician than a writer or something. Like or a poet or something. Like it's like that process of sharing your thoughts and observations and feelings and stuff is what attracts me to it. It's like music's the vehicle kind of.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you say that, because you started out as a musician with violin performance major at St. Olaf, and you were brought up in the sort of classical music tradition, heritage with your parents and stuff.
Yeah, and I guess, but even there, it was like I was drawn to like communicating something about the piece of music or whatever, and I was even, I guess, writing my own classical pieces with like Morgan Scott and Sari.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we would go out every week. We got to go out during orchestra. Instead of practicing with the orchestra, our teacher let us go out in the music practice room and write music, and then we'd share it with the group and stuff. So,
What was the name of that band that you were in with Paul Decker, and I think Morgan was in it too?
Taxi.
Taxi, yeah.
If you wanna ride, call a cab. If you wanna rock, call Taxi.
There you go.
And 2 X's.
Right. And rock you guys did. I mean, we last summer he gave me that tape, and I think we put it on Facebook or something. You got a copy of that, right?
Taxi?
Yeah.
Well, I got it from Chris, but I haven't been able to convert it yet.
I think it's on YouTube. I can send you a link. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and then maybe we could share that with the class of '89 too, because that's the bomb to me. There's no better picture of the '80s than hearing you guys play like Van Halen and stuff.
Where was it? Like Skate Palace?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect place too.
It is. I wish there was more footage of Skate Palace on the recording, because it'd be kind of neat to see the old snack bar and stuff. But
right. Carpeted rail and stuff.
Right. So every music act, I mean, it's a balancing act, and just to keep a band together, even a duo together, is a lot of work, and you run into different challenges. What are some of the challenges that Storyhill has encountered over the years?
Oh, let's see, money.
External relationships, maintaining relationships.
Right.
Yeah, I remember I gave a ride to the drummer for Eddie Money. I can't remember what his name is, but yeah, it's escaping me now. But I asked him, I was like, how do you do this? How do you do this and have a family? And he said, well, the answer is I basically have made every decision based on my career, and my family's kind of fallen apart.
Wow, yeah.
And that kind of really hit me hard. But I mean, I guess it made me grateful that I wasn't famous or something, because it's nice to have roots and a support system, and
yeah.
But by the same token, man, it'd be pretty sweet to be a drummer for Eddie Money.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
But
Well, I think, I mean, we've been really fortunate, and there's definitely been stages to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's almost like you can't really look at it as a single career. It's got these different, phases in it, stages. And like in our 20s, after college, prior to trying to maintain relationships, we're more free to like tour, sort of like focus on it as a business and try to build it up. And by doing that, it kind of led to like this grassroots following that like really has been. I mean, it's been our fans that have kind of like supported each sort of curve in the road, along the way. Because even when we thought we were done, other people weren't ready for that, or didn't, they still wanted more.
Yeah.
And so I think we're lucky because we have that kind of music that, like, the music itself, like, means so much to more than just us. That, it sort of like
sustains you.
Yeah, exactly. It just keeps pulling us forward. So
Cool.
not always in a straight line or whatever, but it's just that kind of music,
Well, and it's interesting, like, this occurred to me when we were in our 20s, that we're kind of in a genre that is for older people in a way. Like, it's almost like as you age, you get more credibility or something, or like life experience, or whereas like if you're Eddie Money's drummer, it's better to be in your 20s than
right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's like it's almost like we're now growing into it.
Yeah.
Which has been
I like looking at it that way.
yeah, and like when we were making folk music, Nirvana was on the radio and stuff.
Right.
Buckets and stuff. We weren't really cool,
We're busting through the ceiling with it.
The other thing, though, I was going to say is our managers over the years have been really instrumental in, sometimes like just making us do stuff, or like encouraging, like, we have to do, you guys should do more, or, lately Jim is just, it's just like, let's do this roadshow, like, it's like, okay, like, like the energy that it takes to put something like that together is so immense that we wouldn't even think about it, but he comes up with these ideas and we're just like, yeah, okay. It's pretty.
Get ready to turn.
Go right.
Yeah.
Is this where the amphitheater is?
Yeah, the pavilion is that structure.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's pretty new. All of this.
Is that where we're headed?
What's today? Thursday?
Yeah.
Lake's pretty full.
Yeah, it is.
Overflowing.
This pavilion is pretty cool. I guess didn't architecture students design it or something?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I think there's a plaque up there that
It
talks
looks
about
kind of designed.
It's Frank Lloyd Wright of,
Right.
of
Yeah,
Lake
it is.
Pavilions.
Last time I was up here, there were people panning for gold
Huh.
right around this bend, but and I was like standing right where that amphitheater is, and it wasn't there.
Huh.
How old is it?
I'm gonna say maybe 8 years.
Okay. It's awesome.
Welcome back to Bozeman, Johnny.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad to be here.
cold up here.
Yeah. It's the highlight of your summer.
That's right.
Yeah, how did you come up with that song?
Chris had asked me to play
Willie Nelson.
a Willie Nelson tune, and then another one was another option. But so I thought, Chris is getting married. I should probably write one, And I just I started writing it on the drive out from Minnesota, and then wrote it in a campground sitting by one of the creeks up here. And and then the first time I kind of got it right was in the ceremony itself.
Wow.
And I remember Chris was actually singing along with it. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's like, maybe this will become a Storyhill song.
Oh, it was a moment. That was so cool.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was hard to follow Chris's mom and dad. They talked about Chris's early years and stuff, and so I had to kind of like shut off my brain a little bit and just to be able to sing it without choking up.
Yeah.
Highlight of my life, dreamer in my dreams. Everything is not only as it seems. Just beneath the rippling surface of the stream, something even greater weaving us together. Unseen the tie that binds us, unknown the path before us, but unclouded the sky above. An unbelievable love. Wade in the water, hold on to my hand. The current can be strong here, but no stronger than I am. And if we slip or falter, we'll stumble together. Unseen the tie that binds us, unknown the path before us, but unclouded the sky above. An unbelievable love. More than a morning sun, I love to be with you. Unseen the tie that binds us, unknown the path before us, but unclouded the sky above. An unbelievable love. Unseen the tie that binds us, unknown the path before us, unclouded the sky above. An unbelievable love.
Yeah, Leslie and I were really lucky, really thankful. So it's our song.
It's beautiful, yeah.
It's lasted 15 years, and then and it meant a lot to us, but then also to lots more people after that. I think we have a few songs, or you do, like "If I Could" is sung at weddings quite a bit. It's another song
Yeah.
which I wrote. But that our wedding spawned what we call Storyhill Fest, which takes place, or it did. The first three of them were here at Highlight Lake, at the same camp, and basically, I remember talking to you about like hosting a festival, and you're kind of skeptical at first. It seemed like. In fact,
Really?
yeah.
I thought I came up with the idea.
No, you were the naysayer.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, that'll never
remember it
work.
differently.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember thinking, hey, this is kind of like a festival. We should. I thought it was my idea.
Well, that's great. There's no argument now. But yeah, you know, it's okay.
Just like all old couples, you know.
Yeah,
they
right.
argue.
Totally different memories.
Right.
Well, and the idea being that, you know, we'd already, Leslie and I had put together this, you know, 200-person sort of event, and Johnny probably had the like business mind of like, let's sell tickets, and you know, recreate the sort of musical aspect of it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because we did play music, I think, around the fire and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
and we had like a band, and the first night, and then a ton of music actually.
Yeah.
Music around the campfire, right?
Great food.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun for all ages. That's just, you know, that's how we roll.
Yeah.
And then the first 3 Storyhill Fests spawned a marriage each summer. I think.
Aaron,
Huh.
SB, and Heidi,
And Justin
and Mesa, yeah. Who are the other ones?
Like they met at the Storyhill Fest, or
Yeah, they met
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's sort of like, yeah, kind of a neat.
We should probably be careful about ever doing those again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. There's magic in the air, and yeah, I guess we're talking about it now because we kind of missed it. You know, we're here at the site where it all first started, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like on our minds to maybe, you know, do another one someday.
It's a lot of work, but beautiful experience. Yeah. Yeah.
Really.
Especially singing around the campfire and just like after a concert with like 4 or 5 different acts, you know, and then you walk up the hill to the campfire and just like singing it old
keeps
school.
going.
It's
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Really neat experience. Yeah, I hope you guys do another one because
Yeah.
they're really fun.
Cool.
Well, yeah, talk about that other song that you're about to play.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember it from our early years. I'm not sure how you wrote it, or
I wrote it
on a fishing
actually.
trip?
Yeah, I was fishing with my parents in high school or shortly after high school, I guess. And we were up on the Taylor Fork of the Gallatin,
Yeah.
and I climbed a ridge, and it was one of those songs that I wrote without a guitar, so I kind of just wrote it in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and then started singing it, and I think it sort of leads to a more kind of melodic, singable song in some ways when you do it that way, because you're not. And then I sort of just wrote the chords around the melody.
If it wasn't for the trees, the winds would have no sound, and the song of the mountains could not be heard. If it wasn't for the shore, the waves could not confer with the motion of the ocean or the moon that pulls on her. There is freedom in the song in this place. Everything works together, creation its grace. And the only thing higher than earth, wind, and fire is the song that sings it all together. If it wasn't for your eyes, the sky would not be blue. Nothing would reflect the stars that shine. And if it wasn't for your heart, I'd have no place to go. And the echoes of your love would not be mine. But there is freedom in the song of your part is all we need to light the dark. We're all one and one together. Let's sing this song forever. If it wasn't for peace that struggles to be free, hope would be the weapon of the strong. And if it wasn't for the song that lives so we can be lovers of your love might go on. There is freedom in the song of this place, and everything works together, creation and its grace. And the only thing higher than the judgment of a liar is the song he sings to make him free. New way of looking at your part is all we need to light the dark. We're all one and one together. Let's sing this song forever. New way of looking at your part is all we need to light the dark. We're all one and one together. Let's sing this song forever. New way of looking at your part is all we need to light the dark. We're all one and one together. Let's sing this song forever.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, we haven't played that song for decades.
Yeah.
It's part of our sort of earlier, more idealistic era, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's a positive, hopeful song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uplifting. Yeah.
I remember being at Leaf and Bean, hear you guys sing, and I don't remember the name of this song, but it's about the three rivers becoming one, and
Missouri
the
River?
chord, and the chord, and it just blew my mind because like I'm a drummer, right?
Yeah.
I'm always listening more to the music and the instruments, and vocals to me are like another instrument.
Yeah.
But like when I like heard that lyric and it dawned on me like what was, I mean, of course I was a little out of it that night too, but but you know, just that image was so cool, you know.
Wait,
Yeah.
which lyric are you referring to?
Was it the Gallatin, the Madison, and the
right.
Jefferson, and then it becomes the Missouri,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's also the notes on your chord on your guitar, I think.
Yeah, right.
Isn't that what it's about, or-
I never thought of
the
that.
last verse is this chord's a G and this one's a
Yeah.
Oh, the Gallatin?
I never.
Oh, interesting.
Because D, yeah,
D wouldn't work.
D.
It wouldn't work.
yeah, no, that,
But I was just thinking like that's the way I had interpreted anyway, that you were talking about like the each note in the
river, yeah.
chord is a river that's going into the
Oh, I
Missouri
never
or
thought of
something.
that.
Huh. I thought you guys wrote it that way.
Yeah,
And rework that just
Right.
to make it.
yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing about music is it brings different things to
Right,
different
different
people. But
perspectives.
yeah, but anyway, yeah, your music, yeah, it's just it carried me through some rough times, and when I hit a bottom in about 2002, I think I was unemployed for a little bit, and I went to see you guys at the Emerson, I think, in
yeah.
December when you're back for Christmas or something.
I hope we comped you tickets.
I hope you didn't, but
Anyway, well, yeah.
but you're always good about that. But yeah, and it just I don't know. I was feeling lower than your music at that point, but it made me want to get my life back, and now some of the stuff you guys play, it's a little darker. I don't know if darker is the right word, but it's just more grounded or something.
Yeah. A little heavier.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just great you guys got that whole catalog, because it kind of covers all the bases, Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess if you have what is it, like 300 recorded songs.
Right.
There's got to be something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as you make your way through life, you know, you're gonna go through ups and downs, and
Yeah.
songs, if you're writing them, you're gonna do the same.
Yeah. Well, it's just been so fun, like knowing you guys and getting to watch you guys grow as musicians and people, and just get to go on the ride with you personally and through the recordings, you know. And yeah.
It's been great to have you along.
Right on. I look forward to getting on the bus with you guys to have some fun this summer.
That'd be
So
great.
yeah.
All right.
Seeing some of our old friends. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. See you on the bus in a month then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Anything you want to say to the class of 1989?
Oh, man.
What was our slogan?
It will never be the same.
Oh. Yeah, with
Is
the
it?
picture of
The forest fire.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Yellowstone
oh,
forest
like
fire.
Right.
beer, wine is fine, but the class of '89 is like divine or something. We had some.
No, I don't remember that.
Miami slogan. But yeah, no, it's it's been 30 years, and it'll be great to be able to see some old friends again, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and the great thing about reunions, so I learned last year, is that if you can't remember something, somebody else will, you know, like you
Right.
get in a circle and you're telling a story and you get to a point, you're like,
Right.
what was that? And somebody will know it,
And
you
there's
know?
always, there's a couple people that I always go to for, like, who was that again?
Right.
Or like,
Yeah.
what?
Right.
Yeah.
They have all
Photographic
the info,
memory.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty touching. Like when you look at the people that we lost, you know, in our classes.
Yeah.
And is there anybody that comes to mind for you guys that you're really close with that you miss now?
Yeah, definitely Hans.
Yeah. Still think about him a lot.
Yeah. And then Josh, who wasn't in our class, but
Yeah. Might as well have been, huh?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Angie, we lost last summer.
Right. Yeah. The river.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was terrible.
But it's at the same time, it's there's something about just the bonds that we formed with our class. The classes, it's like
Yeah.
it's just kind of a cool feeling to realize that we just have lifelong connections with these folks.
Yeah.
These friends. And I don't know if it's the same with every high school around the country or something, but probably not. I think it's special that way.
Special. It is. Yeah.
Let's head back, man.
My dad had this like old cross country ski, like leather one ski. Do you remember that thing?
It's funny because I thought, my dad had one as well.
Maybe we had two. But we filled them up and like came up here. It was right here actually.
With like jungle juice?
And it was like January, yeah. And it was dumb. We were drinking it, driving. It was like snow was up to the windows.
Wow.
In my Jeep. And I remember going over that bridge, just being like, oh no.
Oh,
It's a more primitive bridge. I think. Like just thinking, wow, we could easily go off the road here.
Oh, man. I remember, so we must have been like 17.
Yeah.
So, do you remember, I think it was like a snowshoeing adventure where we were down, it must have been it was actually up Sourdough,
Yeah.
and we found that cabin,
I don't remember that.
really old cabin.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, it might not even exist anymore, but I found this like old key for the door, the keyhole, and it was on a string, and I kept it. I still have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can't get into the cabin?
Yeah, there's no cabin anymore, but
that's classic stuff to do.
It's like this old rusty key, you know, like the skeleton one. You don't remember that trip?
No, I
You
remember
just
the
got-
cabin.
Yeah.
I remember the snowshoes.
Yeah. You just got the snowshoe.
Remember we biked over Sourdough and down Highlight one time.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. And then I remember the renting those paint guns from Army Navy
Yeah.
with like Alyssa Clark and
John,
John, Jake maybe,
Jake, and yeah,
Claire.
Mike.
Maybe.
That was Greek Creek or something.
Yeah, that's right.
It's my first stop in Bozeman is Pickle Barrel.
Pretty good.
It's amazing how it hasn't changed at all. Like one bit. All those photos are still up of all the workers on ski trips and stuff. They used to go to like Tahoe and stuff together.
Museum.
Yeah. And they still have my favorite mushroom steak. They don't have Verner's anymore.
Root beer or ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
Oh,
I used
right.
to get a
Verner's.
Verner's and mushroom steak.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
They quit selling it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or maybe they're just out when I was there.
Yeah, that was always the stop that my dad would take me on
Yeah.
when we'd go hunting or rafting or whatever. And yeah, it always included a Burners.
Yeah, I just love those things. You breathe them in and they sting your throat. Like if you breathe it in, it stings your
Oh
throat.
yeah. Ginger sting.
I hope those are still around. That's a good question.
So can I ask you guys a couple interview questions again?
Yeah.
So, was there, if you had to like single out one or two pivotal moments in the development of Storyhill, or you know your emergence on the national scene, what would be the most powerful moments that you had, shows or opportunities, connections?
It's I guess it's kind of interesting that we never really had like a huge, like there wasn't like a, I mean, you know, we have never really gotten that big, I guess, but like it was just kind of a really gradual, like I was thinking about this, like the first 4 years when we were on the road for 4 years straight, and it didn't really feel like anything was changing because it changed so fast or slowly. So it'd be like, but yeah. Then I look back on it. It's like at first we had to like haul our own sound system around and we played at venues that didn't always necessarily have music or you know, where it wasn't like people were there to listen to music necessarily. And then just over time, it slowly sort of morphed into other types of like theaters and then I guess when we started doing the festivals, it started to feel like we were, you know, legit or whatever. Yeah. Kerrville there's a festival in Texas called Kerrville. It lasts like 18 days. And we won the songwriting competition with 6 others.
Yeah, out of
5 others.
800 applicants.
Sweet.
So yeah, kind of opened some doors, I think, and yeah, I mean, once we got sort of beyond the our own age group, kind of college grad, you know, age group, and you know, more into the public realm, and then you know, and then like started attracting the attention of a folk label, Red House Records, you know, and that signing with them really kind of helped. It's all, like Johnny said, it was a gradual process, but definitely kind of forward moving and more expansive each time. Like, we'd show up and we'd get, you know, invitations to go play at Falcon Ridge in New York, or, you know, these big festivals. And so, yeah, at some point we were sort of a legitimate, sought-after act, you know, and people wanted to interview us from around the country. So it wasn't like a overnight sort of like hitting the national scale, you know, becoming famous like the Shins or Who's, you know, Patty Larkin or Patty Griffin or something. We're definitely moving along towards like that respect and credibility. I think Garrison Keillor was a big fan, you know, for example. I think he had us on his show like 4 times plus 2 cruises.
That's awesome.
4 or 5 shows. And things like that really broadened our listener base.
Were you guys nervous at that show, or was it just another show?
Yeah, no, it was exciting for sure. But we were also, it's so well managed that you felt like you're in good hands.
Nice.
Like it wasn't just you trying to do everything. Like, you knew you could kind of like just focus on your side of the street, so to speak, and let the show just sort of take care of itself. Because yeah, their staff and crew is super professional, and they're also like really laid back. I mean, like, you know, friendly.
There's definitely like I mean, one of the things about that show that's interesting is he really likes people to be kind of a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Oh yeah.
So there were like some moments where, you know, like one of the shows on the cruise, he came to us like an hour and a half before the show and said, I really like what you guys do. I like the songs you guys write. But tonight, I want you to play 3 songs that you've never played together before. I was just like, what?
Was one of them the Everly Brothers?
Yeah, so then we did it too. Like, we didn't have to do that. We could have like
Scrambled
faked it,
back.
you know, and said, yeah, we never played those. But we did. We did like Wake Up Little Susie.
Yeah.
And then like that was terrifying because it was like right about to go on stage and the boat was rocking and really wavy. And it's the theater's in the bow of the boat. So
Wow.
And I remember just being like, we're about to go out on stage and play a song that everybody in the audience knows better than we do. You know? And it's hard. It sounds like an easy song to play, but it actually has a lot of like if you miss, you know, where like one word is different, and if you miss that, you won't get the transition to the next section. And man, but we totally did it. That was one. I mean, it's actually kind of a cool experience because I felt like we got pushed to, you know, it's like I don't know, we're gonna be able to do this, and then when you do it, you feel really, oh yeah, you know, like I can do that.
Cool.
You know? But I think they really like that sort of spontaneity on that show. They don't want it to be perfect, and they don't want it to be, you know, sterile. So it's, yeah, and then there'd be times that we'd like rehearsing like a hymn or something, and Garrison would be like, should we do it let's try it in 3/4. And it's like, it's never been done in 3/4. And then we tried and it didn't work at all, and then he'd be like, okay, we'll do it that way. You know?
Oh, geez.
And then, or that sounds great, and then you're like, are we doing it in 3/4 or 4/4? You know, and then you wouldn't know until you did it. And then, but then you've got people listening to each other, you know, and really, you know, you're playing for like 4 million people live, so you just get it right, you know, or you do something that sounds okay, you know.
And this is still on the cruise, or this is on the show, or both?
Both.
Okay, so they had shows on the cruise then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Didn't realize that.
And actually, another one that happened on that cruise was we were told to come out and play our last song and then leave the stage right after.
Mm-hmm.
And Garrison came out and got in my way and wouldn't let me leave the stage. Chris got by him, but then he looked at me and he said, "Do you know this song?"
Wow.
And he started singing a song I didn't know, but I was able to. He sang it slowly enough, and I was like face to face with him, like
Cornered.
a foot away from his mouth, and so I just watched his lips move and like
Wow.
and did a harmony on that, and like figured out what the words were as we went.
Cool.
And it was pretty cool, you know. It's like it just kind of shows you that you can do stuff that you don't think you can do. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite songs for you, John, is "Mary on the Mountain." I just always thought that was a pretty profound symbol, and I just love the way the story unfolds. And I was just wondering if you had actually toured through the Lady of the Rockies before you wrote that song, or was it imagination?
Imagination. Yeah, we've never been there. This summer will be the first time.
Wow.
I've never even been to the base up there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure. I don't even know if you can go inside or.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Seems like you'd be able to, but when you watch the footage of the helicopter trying to drop those pieces into place, just looks like a hollow thing, but they might have built something inside it.
Yeah, didn't they almost crash?
Yeah, that's a crazy story. Yeah, I mean, I think the wind picked up and it started spinning the middle piece. I think it's like the shoulders, and so the helicopter had to start basically going down the hill and just barely landed that thing, and it somehow it did not get damaged.
Wow.
And then the next time, I don't know, I think they had to like take it all the way back into Butte, and he wasn't sure he'd have enough fuel. I mean, it's just, you imagine like being in a chopper trying to maneuver that thing.
Well, it's made out of steel, right?
I think so.
They melted down all of the old mine
Galleons?
Yeah, the gear and all
Wow, I didn't know that.
supports and stuff. Yeah, she's made out of like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then I guess a couple days later they put it back on the helicopter, and they just had a miracle, and it just worked, and they got the head on, and yeah.
It's a miracle.
Pretty cool. It's got to be windy up there. I mean, it's right up on top. So.
Yeah, right.
But, well, Chris, we used to take a lot of buses to music festivals, like in band and stuff. I think that's where I met you in 1987 on a trip to Billings for what it was, basketball. Probably not basketball, but it was probably like a symphony band festival or something. And I'm really excited to get back on the bus with you and with a bunch of friends and hear you guys play some guitar. So why do buses, music, and friends go so well together?
Oh man. Yeah, there's something about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like makes me think of like the sort of traveling spirit that the hippies and all of us hippie wannabes had in the, you know, like I used to own a Volkswagen Vanagon.
Yeah.
You know, and just in my 20s, just loved that, you know, that lifestyle of being with basically friends on the road with, you know, music, just kind of like free to roam and wander. So, yeah, man. I mean, Willie Nelson's been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who doesn't like a bus trip unless it's to school, I guess, but...
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I mean, we're renting a full-on charter bus to go.
Ah, nice.
You know, so with a driver, of course, and our manager Jim will probably have the intercom, you know, and he'll tell some silly jokes and.
Cool.
And yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good excursion for our friends and family, and then just to go up to Mary and like actually try to like see if you can look out of her, because the song, you know, she has no eyes, so you can't really see.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is metaphorical, but
I've been wondering about that since I heard that song.
yeah,
first time.
we're gonna find out some, concrete evidence of that this time.
So what'd you think? That was a blast, huh? Here in Storyhill talking about paintballing. I never heard a Storyhill song about paintballing, but it was pretty cool to hear how they come up with some of these iconic songs that are just these earworms. They get in your ears and they stay there for just like 20 or 30 years, and you can hear them whether there's radio playing or not. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I wanted to give you a couple updates. So I was wrong about the date on the highlight trip. On Thursday, July 25th, Storyhill is going to be having 2 concerts. One is going to be up at Bridger Bowl at the Deer Park Chalet. They're going to have a catered lunch. Storyhill will be performing, as well as John's 2 sisters playing some beautiful string music. So you do not want to miss that. And then later that night, up at the Highlight Pavilion is the highlight show where they're going to be performing. There's a catered dinner and beautiful lake scenery, all your friends. What a great reunion. Be there. So go to storyhill.com and you'll get the right information. Don't trust me. Go there, get your tickets, because you don't want to miss this. We'll see you there.